Guitar Collector Guy presents the Gibson Firebird V, the Graceful Giant. I wanted to put a little perspective of showing the Firebird case sitting behind a standard Fender case. The case is huge. The guitar is kind of large, but ironically, although the case weighs in at 17 pounds 6 ounces with nothing in it, the guitar itself only weighs about 7 pounds 1 ounce, which you would think for a guitar this large coming out of Gibson that it'd be fairly heavy, similar to like a Les Paul, but it's actually pretty light and easy to handle. This particular guitar is a Gibson Firebird V in vintage sunburst, which I have to tell you, this is a guitar that I've wanted for many, many years in this specific finish and this configuration. So it took me a long time to find a really, really nice specimen that I could actually afford, and I was able to accomplish that with this. This is kind of a higher end unit, 2 pickups, the standard Tune-o-matic bridge. The original unit came with the Maestro Vibrola. Reissue units came out with what you're seeing right here, which is the Tune-o-matic with a stop bar. This unit also has nickel hardware, trapezoid inlays, and neck binding. And it is a really incredible guitar. So Gibson first launched the Firebird in 1963 with 4 main models. They had the Firebird I, the II, the V, and the VII. The Firebird I had 1 pickups. The II had 2 pickups, but didn't have like the fancy trapezoid inlays and neck binding. The V I've already described, and then the VII was the much higher end unit with 3 pickups. So then the pickups themselves are a type of humbucker from Gibson that was made specifically for the Firebird, but they're not PAF humbuckers. I don't know enough about them to really kind of describe them in a technical way, although I've read quite a bit. I've read folks describing them as high output and jangly. I would agree with that. They're really not like anything I've heard before. Acoustically, when played clean on an amp, they're really pretty sounding, almost like an acoustic guitar plugged in if you're in the rhythm position. So basically all the units that came out as a Firebird were, basically have this through body neck. The neck literally goes through the entire body, and then there's pieces of the body that are attached on either side of it. The other thing was they had this reverse body where it has the large lower horn. So it's kind of like the flip of a Fender Stratocaster, where a Fender Stratocaster has the larger, more forward horn on the top. And so a lot of people basically called it then the reversed body shape. So the Fives came out with several different types of tuners, and this particular came out with Steinberger kind of gearless tuners, which I really, really like these tuners. Not enough to like buy a set and put them on another guitar, because quite honestly, they're really expensive. I mean, they're between $250, $300 plus. But they are locking tuners, and the amount of I would use the word, I guess, gradation or of actually tuning your guitar is you can really tune the guitar really accurately, and they're just so smooth. And so I'm going to show in a minute as I go through the guitar and actually put new strings on it, and how you set up the strings and how you actually tune the guitar and so on. So if you like this video, click like, subscribe, and notify. So when you're restringing a guitar with these tuners, you want to make sure 2 things. One, that the tuners go actually up and down like some sort of a piston. You'll actually see that in a minute where I'm actually showing it from the side. So you want to, from the bottom, loosen the tuners so they actually are kind of at their highest point, and you'll see then the hole that you put the strings in basically facing are exposed where you can actually easily get to it with the string. And that's what I've done here. So the tuners, I've loosened them so they're at their highest kind of, I guess what you would call apogee, where they're at the top of where they can actually go in height. And then you feed the strings through just like you would with any standard locking tuner. And then you're going to want to, on each of the strings, turn the knob at the top clockwise, locking the strings in. And, I've read different things about it and so on. And the consensus is a few things. One, you want to leave just enough slack in the string so it's not completely tight. You want to be able to give the string room so it can actually go down as you're tuning. The other thing is you want to make sure that it's actually really locked on the string, especially on the three high strings, and so it's not slipping. So then you turn clockwise at the bottom, and what it does is it starts to actually lower the tuner down, and it's pulling the string with it, and it's tightening it. And so that's actually how you are moving, basically, as you tune. So you can watch the tuner for the high E string, and you can actually see as I crank the tuner on the back clockwise, the actual turn knob at the top, the shaft is dropping, and it's basically locked onto the string, and it's taking the string with it. It's tightening the string, and it's actually then increasing the notes. So then once I had them then kind of taut, I used the typical three finger method of stretching the strings. Some of them I probably should have had a little bit tighter. And then I went to work doing kind of my initial tuning. And I know everybody is like, don't tune your guitar while it's laying flat. Well, I wasn't really tuning the guitar. I was doing an initial tuning, so I'm in the ballpark, and then I put the guitar in a playing position, and then I take it down to the actual, tuned properly. But you can see the knobs are actually starting to drop, and they're taking the string with it as almost like a plunger as it's going down. And it's a really, really interesting way of tuning a guitar and how this Steinberger type of tuner works. And they're really cool. I mean, they really are really accurate. I haven't noticed, like tuning problems. Once you tune, it seems to stay that way. And it's so just fine graduation of what, you could just really, really accurately dial in and tune your strings. And it's just such a smooth action on the back. So no ifs, ands, or buts. I love this guitar. The way it plays, the way it sounds, it is really, really unique. Just sitting on my lap when I'm playing, the way the body shape is and stuff, it just seems to ergonomically and naturally just fit my body. It's an expensive guitar. To buy a really good condition Gibson Firebird V, you're going to start, the lowest I've seen kind of okay condition, kind of good condition, is about $2,200–$2,300, and then they go up from there. So you need to be kind of prepared to spend to get a good model. And I'm really happy. I wanted something with an original case, not really beat up. I can't find any marks on this guitar. It even still has the plastic on the pickguard. It is just a phenomenal playing guitar, and I'm really, really happy. And this thing's going to be something that I keep in my collection for the rest of my life. And I've sold a lot of guitars. This is not going to be a guitar that is ever sold or modified. Thank you for watching Guitar Collector Guy. Really appreciate you being here. Hope you come back and watch more. If you like this video, click like, subscribe, and notify.